Well, good afternoon, everybody. Spokane Steve here. And it's almost time for Strat-O-Matic baseball. This will be the final game on the date of June the 9th, 1966. St. Louis Cardinals at Pittsburgh Pirates. It's the rubber game. These teams have split the first two. Cardinals come in 24-25. The Pirates at 31-20 are in second place in the National League. Currently 3 games behind the Dodgers and just a half a game ahead of the Phillies, who won yesterday. Frank's pre-play has it as Pittsburgh 4, St. Louis 3. And let's see who's joined us so far. Greetings to Kenyon. Hello, Franklin. Hi, Mike. Hello, fellow baseball and Strat-O-Matic fans and friends. Two left-handers on the mound today. Al Jackson for St. Louis, Woody Fryman for Pittsburgh. On a toasty day in Spokane, currently 90 degrees and sunny, expected to reach a high of 95. Heat warning in effect today, and tomorrow's supposed to be 99. Could hit 100, we'll see. Then we'll be back into the 80s again by Wednesday. So there's the superfluous weather report, I suppose. Okay. Looking at the real life numbers, appear to be a huge edge to Al Jackson. But let's take a look at the numbers. See how they fared so far in our replay. Jackson 2-3 with a 5.06 ERA. He split time between starting and relief. In 6 starts, he has 2 complete games, including a shutout. Woody Fryman comes in at 1-2, 4.88. This will be his 5th start of the season. He's worked 3 games out of the pen. Just 28 innings of work so far for Fryman. So a very small sample size. For that matter, Jackson, 53 in the 3rd innings. Quite a few more innings, but still a small sample size. Jackson's given up quite a few hits. 67 hits allowed in 53 in the 3rd innings. And looking at the cards, Fryman particularly effective against left-handers. Jackson would appear to be backwards, maybe even a bit, well, he's balanced, maybe a bit backwards. He gives up more home runs to left-handers. On base chances, at a glance, look pretty similar. Hello, Bob Merrow. Welcome in. Yeah, I turned off the air conditioning, of course, for the game. I ran it extensively just prior to the game, so very comfortable in here. And again, being on the bottom floor of a 3-story building, it should hold its temperature pretty well for the 70 to 90 minutes we'll be on today. Here's the lineup for the Cardinals. Lou Brock leads it off in left field. Phil Gagliano is at 3rd base. Curt Flood in center field. Orlando Cepeda at 1st base. Mike Shannon moves into the 5 spot in right field. Jerry Buchek gets his first start at 2nd base. Jerry's been playing shortstop exclusively so far, but he starts at 2nd base today. Pat Corrales is the catcher. Dal Maxville at short, and Al Jackson, the pitcher, round out the lineup. And Franklin did a speed playthrough in Out of the Park. St. Louis won the championship. The 93 season. Well, congrats to St. Louis. And hello to Gerald. Any statistical highlights or anomalies from the season there, Franklin? In Frank's pre-play, Clemente with the big blow, a 3-run bomb, and Brock a good game in the loss. I'm trying to think what else I've got here on a Monday. Yeah, I should take a moment and let you know things are going to get really busy for me over the next couple of weeks. I'm not anticipating any missed games yet. Doctor's appointments tomorrow and Wednesday, but those are morning appointments, so they will not affect the broadcast. Let me look at my calendar here. So that's about it until the following week. And on July 12th, we're having a celebration of life for my mom. So I expect there will be some, I'll need to get together with my sister. A lot of the planning's already been done, of course. Everybody pretty much knows what their job is, but we'll need to touch base prior to that, since her and I are the ones putting it on. It's going to be at the house. So I could need a few. Definitely won't have games Friday or Saturday. That would be the 11th and 12th of July, and there'll probably be another day during that week where I will have to be absent as well. This week remains unaffected. Although a busy week in itself with 2 doctor's appointments. Anyway, that's my situation. Let's see what Franklin added here. Hello, Unmitigated. Welcome in. Baltimore Terrapins lost to St. Louis in the division series. Yeah, that happens. Sorry about the Terrapins, buddy. Okay, Jackson's ready to go to work here. Wait a minute. No, he isn't. Oh, get in the game, Steve. Woody Fryman's ready to go to work. Lou Brock will lead things off. He's hitting .271. He's got 6 home runs, 24 RBIs, and 21 stolen bases, which I believe leads the league. Left-hander winds and deals, and here we go on a 6-7 grounder to second base X. That, of course, is the Gold Glover Mazeroski, a 1 E8. Maz with the E range. It's an 11 on an 8, and he makes a fine play and throws him out. You'd expect nothing less from Bill Mazeroski, and we're underway here. 1 down. Here's the third baseman, Phil Gagliano. Gagliano just 192 so far, 10 for 52, no home runs, 7 RBIs. Fryman into the windup. Pitch is a 111 left-handed, and he drops it into right field in front of Clemente. Gagliano rounds and holds it first with a base hit. Not a threat to run, but let's check the Pirates' battery anyway. We see Fryman has a very good hold, -4. Pagliaroni is 0 arm behind the plate. And welcome to Kelly. Kurt Flood will be the hitter. Just getting underway here. A man on first, 1 out. Flood hitting .278, 3 homers, 16 RBIs. Fryman out of the stretch now. On a 6-11 right-handed, he lifts a high fly ball to left. Backing up is Willie Stargell, just shy of the track, pulls it in. So Flood gave it a ride. And it holds up in left field for Stargell. 2 down, here's Orlando Cepeda now. Cepeda with the Cardinals, .264, 2 homers, 10 RBIs. I'll have to go to the master stats to get his overall numbers as he played for 2 teams. Cepeda on the season, .247, 4 home runs, 19 RBIs. Fryman with the pitch. That's a 3-3 left-handed grounder to first base. Wide of the bag, Clendenin fields it. Throws to Fryman, covering, and the side is retired. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We played half an inning at St. Louis 0. Pittsburgh coming to bat against Al Jackson. Pittsburgh, of course, Just a very impressive offensive display so far, to put it mildly. Still hitting .292 as a team. 269 runs scored compared to St. Louis with 199. And here's the lineup for the Pirates. National League batting leader Gene Alley leads it off at short. Manny Mota plays center field today. Roberto Clemente's in right. Jim Pagliarone, the catcher, moves into the cleanup spot. Don Clendenin is at first base. Bill Mazeroski at second. Bob Bailey at third, and batting eighth, Willie Stargell in left field. Fryman, of course, bats ninth. So against the lefty Jackson, quite a few times now we've seen this season, Stargell batting eighth against a left-hander. The young Willie Stargell, that certainly would not happen after he established himself more, would it? Alley, as mentioned, leading the league in batting at .378. He has 3 home runs, 25 RBIs. Jackson into the windup. That's going to be a 4-3 right-handed. That's a grounder to short, fielded by Maxville, who throws him out, and there's one away. Here's Manny Mota hitting .333, second on the team, to Alley. 4 homers, 17 RBIs. Jackson into the windup. On a 2-9 left-handed, he lifts one to left, playable for Brock, who's right there under it. And quickly, there's 2 away. That'll bring up Roberto Clemente. Clemente hitting .306, 8 home runs. His 34 RBIs tied for second on the team. Him and Clendenin both with 34. Stargell leads with 37. Jackson's pitch to Clemente is a 5-3 right-handed. It's a fly to right field X. Tough chance for Mike Shannon. Shannon, a good outfielder, 2E5. He's on his horse. The play on a 17. He makes a nice running catch to retire the side. 9X, 1-2-3 go the Pirates in the first, and we're scoreless after an inning of play. Welcome in, everybody. On a Monday, back into the week. At least that's how it feels to me. Sunday always feels like a warm-up game to me after a day off. And then we get rolling by Monday. Well, hopefully we get rolling. Good year for the Alus, Frank. And Shannon, who made that fine catch to end the first, will lead off the second. Shannon at .277, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs. Fryman into the windup. That's going to be a 1-4 lefty. A little comebacker. Fryman fields it and throws him out. Jerry Buchek playing second base today. Buchek at .328, 2 homers, 24 RBIs. The pitch from Fryman on a 6-7 right-handed is a grounder to second base X. Second X play for Mazeroski, a 1E8. Maz to his left on a 15. He scoops it up and tosses it over to Clendenin for the out. And here's Pat Corrales, the catcher, giving McCarver a day off. McCarver on the bench today leads the Cardinals in RBIs with 25. Corrales hitting just .152 in 33 at-bats. But with the left-handed Fryman going, a good day to give McCarver a day off. Hello, Joel. Welcome. Joel points out that Stargell hit only .169 against lefties in 1966. And 29 of his 32 home runs came versus right-handers. Fryman into the windup. Pitch to Pat Corrales is a 6-3 fly to left field X. Tough chance for Stargell. 3E16. Stargell ranging towards the line. On A5, he's not going to get it. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Stargell gets it back in. Corrales holds with a 2-out single. And the hitter will be Dal Maxville. Maxville's been playing more of late. 17 for 49. That's a 347 average. And Maxville's earned his way into the lineup. Fryman checks the runner, comes to the plate, 6'8" righty, and that is ripped hard into left field. That's going to be over Willie Stargell's head for extra bases. On a triple to 7, he's headed all the way to third with a triple. Corrales scores to make it 1-0 St. Louis. Dal Maxville with an RBI triple. Holy smoke, that's his third triple, and he hasn't played that much. He hit 3 in real life, so he's already reached that total here in the replay. And here is Al Jackson, left-handed hitter. Fryman's pitch on a 6'9" lefty. That's going to be extra bases for Jackson. Triple to 17, and it's going to be back-to-back triples. Holy cow. Scoring is Maxville. And the pitcher, Al Jackson. With 2 outs, a single and 2 triples, and it's 2-0 Cardinals. And welcome into Ben. My sentiments exactly, Ben. And the tough luck continues for Woody Fryman. I have to say it again. Fryman entered the game with an ERA of 4.88. Here's Brock with 2 away. Fryman a glance at third. Comes in there with a 4-11 left-handed grounder to first. Clendenon will take it himself. And that'll end the inning of the Cardinals plate 2 on back-to-back triples. One of them by the pitcher, Al Jackson. And they lead it 2-0. This is one of those times in Strat where you just have to kind of shake your head. It happens. Fortunately, not very often. Two to nothing. St. Louis. Okay. Bottom of the second, Jim Pagliarone to start things off. 277 average, 6 home runs, 30 RBIs for the right-handed hitting catcher. Jackson into the windup. That's going to be a 6'6 right-handed. Hard smash to third. Gagliano has it. Fires it over to Cepeda, 1 down. You jinxed it, Franklin. Here's Don Clendenon, 295 on the year, 11 home runs, 34 RBIs. He also has 8 doubles and 4 triples. Clendenon among the league leaders in slugging percentage. Based on, what is that? Where is he again here? That's 23 extra base hits. Jackson into the windup. That's going to be a 6'5 righty. He lifts it to left field. Brock backs up a bit and hauls it in. 2 down, and here's Bill Mazeroski. An even 300 average, 2 homers, 28 RBIs. Jackson's pitch is a 1-5 left-handed. Grounder down to third. It's Gagliano again, and he throws him out. It's another 1-2-3 inning for Al Jackson. 2 innings in, it's 2-0 Cardinals. Let me scroll down here. I want to see about the sale. I didn't know about the sale, Ben. I'll have to check into that. 4th of July sale, I assume. I did take advantage a week or so ago of the 10% site-wide sale. to buy 5 more 365 teams. I was running out on one of my accounts. See, I have 2 accounts on there. So a good time to reload. Hang on, I got to do something with this chair. This cushion again has slid clear down. Driving me absolutely crazy, so I'll flip that around. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Cup of coffee for me, although the last one of the day, I think. I'm going to go to iced tea here. It's a hot one today. As we move to the 3rd inning, Phil Gagliano will lead it off for the Cardinals. Gagliano, who singled in the 1st, standing in from the right side. Here's the pitch from Woody Fryman. That's going to be a 6-6 righty. He lifts it to center, playable for Mota, who makes the grab, and there's 1 away. That'll bring up Curt Flood, who's 0 for 1. Fryman gets the sign from Pagliarone. There's the pitch. 4-9 righty, he walks him. 1 out walk to Flood, who has good speed now. 15 with the -4 battery, however. Flood 11 not held. No need to hold him on, and here's Cepeda. Fryman's pitch from the stretch to Orlando Cepeda is a 2-10 lefty. Fly ball to left field. Stargell takes a few steps back and hauls it in. 2 down, it will be up to Mike Shannon. Flood takes his lead from first. Fryman checks the runner. Comes in with a 6-10 righty, a fly to center field X. Mota on his horse now, 2-2. Here's the play on a 16. He's there to make the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, 1 left. 2 plays, 2 putouts for Manny Mota in the inning. %20 off of 3. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's the time to do it if you're going to do it. That conjures all kinds of thoughts in my imagination of which sets I would want to get next. There you go, Ben. I think that's a hell of a good idea. Bob Bailey will start off the bottom of the 3rd. He's hitting .292, 5 homers, 20 RBIs. Jackson gets the sign from Corrales. The windup and the pitch is a 2-11 ground ball to second. Buchek has it. Sidearm flip to Cepeda. And Al Jackson just humming along so far. 1 down, and here is Wilver Stargell. Stargell at .292, 12 home runs, a team leading 37 RBIs. The pitch from Jackson on a 3-4. He lifts it the other way to left field. Brock over by the line, makes the grab. Two down, and here's Fryman. Fryman, a right-handed hitter. Jackson with a 2-8, struck him out. 1, 2, 3, go the Pirates. So 9 up, 9 down so far for Al Jackson, and through 3 innings of play, Cardinals lead it 2-0. Yes, just as well. Children are expensive. I'm not saying they're not worth it, but they are expensive. We move to the 4th inning here. Buchek will start it off. Fryman into the windup. Pitch to Buchek on a 3-2. He hits that one into right field for a base hit. Buchek takes it the other way. The offense of Buchek this year has been amazing. Again, he came into the game hitting .328, just .236 on the card. So the question being, who's overachieved more, Jerry Buchek or Gene Alley? The funny thing is, Ben, people have always said that. I remember people saying that when I was a youngster, late 60s, early 70s. Buchek aboard. Here's Corrales. Corrales singled his first time up. Fryman from the stretch. That's a 5-8 right-handed. He lifts it the other way to right. Ranging over is Clemente to make the catch, and there's one away. Here's the shortstop, Maxville. Hit one of the 2 triples in the 2nd inning. The pitch is a 4-7 right-handed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. First strikeout for Woody Fryman. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Al Jackson. Left on left matchup on a 6-6. That's going to be a liner to second. Single to 6. Mazeroski makes the grab, and that'll retire the side. No runs to hit, 1 left. Yeah, I can't argue with that, Franklin. Top of the order for the Bucks. Bottom of the 4th, they trail by 2. Gene Alley steps to the plate. Al Jackson gets the sign. Lined up the pitch. It was a 5-5 righty. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's the 2nd K for Jackson. And here's Manny Mota. Al Jackson so far has handcuffed this mighty Pittsburgh lineup. Here's Manny Mota. Jackson's pitch on a 2-10 lefty. That's ripped into right field. Mota takes it the other way for a base hit, and that's the first Pittsburgh hit of the afternoon. Mota, a star 15 base stealer. Jackson with a -2 hold. Corrales a 0. Mota at a 13. Not being held. So Mota has the lead if he wants to go at 65%. They're going to let Clemente swing away. That's going to be a 2-7. Single 2 stars. All the way to 3rd goes Mota, and the Pirates have something going here in the bottom of the 4th. It was just a matter of time, wasn't it? Yeah, exactly. Okay, with runners at the corners and 1 down, let's see how the Cardinals are going to play it. They lead by 2. Let's look at Pagliarone's card for ground ball A's. Not very many. St. Louis is going to bring the infield in for the catcher Pagliarone. Clemente not held. He's not a star stealer. Here's the pitcher on the pitch on a 5-8 righty. Pops him up left side. Maxville waving his arms. And he'll take it for out number 2. A big out there for Jackson. It will be up to Don Clendenin with 2 down. Jackson checks the runners. Gets the sign. The pitch is a 3-6. Base hit, 2 stars, and the Pirates are on the board. Mota scores. All the way to third goes Roberto Clemente, and it is 2-1 Cardinals. So the Pirates break through against Al Jackson here in the bottom of the 4th, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Bill Mazeroski. Jackson's pitch to Maz is a 1-4 left-handed, a little comebacker. Jackson knocks it down, picks it up, and tosses it to Cepeda to end the inning. So the Pirates settle for 1 on 3 hits and leave a pair. After 4 innings, it's a very good 2-1 game. Boy, I can't blame you, Ben. I've been really happy with this 66 season. Now, granted, all my other replays have been on the Windows game. Well, you'd have to go back to when I was a kid to find one that was card and dice, I guess. Don't remember those that well. But of the ones I played in the last, 20 years or so, I'd say 66 has been the best. But of course, I'm biased because for the 66th season, I've had all of you guys here. Most of you know I'm running a 1982 replay on the Windows game concurrently with this one. And that's a good year too, but I think this one's better. We go to the 5th, top of the order for St. Louis. Lou Brock is 0 for 2 against Fryman so far. Fryman into the windup. It's going to be a 1-5 left-handed called strike 3. Second K for Fryman as home plate umpire Ken Burkhart rings him up. And here's Phil Gagliano. Gagliano 1 for 2. Fryman into the windup. 6-11 right-handed. And it's a high fly ball to left. Backing up his Stargell just shy of the track, pulls it in. Two down, and here's Kurt Flood, 0 for 1 with a walk. Fryman gets his sign. Delivers a 4-6 righty. Routine grounder to short. Gene Alley over to Clendenin, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Woody Fryman. Through 4.5, it's 2-1 St. Louis. Oh, wow, Frank, they don't have it in payoff pitch. Well, I suspect they will at some point. Fryman 6 for endurance, Jackson 8. And it's the bottom of the Pittsburgh order here in the bottom of the 5th. Bob Bailey will start it off. Jackson into the windup. Comes in there with a 1-8 left-handed. That is a grounder back to the mound. Jackson has it. Fires it to Cepeda. 1 down. And greetings to Stinker Pot. That's definitely a new name in the chat. I kind of think I would remember that one. Welcome in. Oh, My Tower. I got that one on Amazon. I forget the brand name. I don't think it says on here. It might. No. Oh, wait. What's this? Yep, it does. Here on the bottom, you got to turn this upside down. C4 Labs, made in USA. C4labs.com. How about that? It does say. Well, I need to clean this thing out. Yeah, Frank's got it before I did. Ben, the same one. Here's Stargell. One down, Jackson into the windup. That's going to be a 4-3 left-handed. He lifts a high fly ball to right. Backing up is Mike Shannon, just shy of the track, pulls it in. 2 down, and the batter is Fryman. Right-handed hitter. The pitch is a 5-9. That's a grounder to short X. Tough chance for Maxville, a good shortstop. Charging at 228. On a 13, he scoops it up and throws him out. Nice play, Maxville, to end the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Jackson. 4 out of 5 innings have been 1-2-3 innings for Jackson today. Interesting stinker pot. Yes, that was a good year for the Cubs. Not a good year for gambling on the Cubs. I tell you, I lost a bundle in that Chicago-San Diego playoff. First potential endurance inning here. First potential fatigue inning, I should say. First endurance inning for Fryman as we go to the 6th. Cepeda, Shannon, and Buchek due for St. Louis. Yes, don't remind me about Sutcliffe. That's because I doubled up on the last game, thinking there's no way Sutcliffe loses. Okay, Fryman's pitch to Orlando Cepeda. That's going to be a 5-8 righty. Fly ball to right field. Clemente is there. And there's one down. Ancient history, man. Long forgotten. Here's Mike Shannon, 0 for 2. Fryman's pitch is a 5-6 righty, hard smash to third. It's Bailey over to Clendenin, 2 down. I think there's something to that, Joe. Fryman with the windup and the pitch. That's going to be a 4-11 right-handed, and he lines it into left field for a 2-out single. Jerry Buchek, 2 for 3 as his hot-hitting ways continue. And that'll get Pat Corrales to the plate. Corrales 1 for 2. Fryman from the stretch on a 3-10 left-handed routine grounder to short. Gene Alley scoops it up and throws him out. No runs, a hit, 1 left. The Fryman, right in this game, Jackson has definitely pitched better. But you have to admit Fryman was a little bit unlucky there in that second inning, giving up a triple to the pitcher. Oh, there's things, yeah, as a fan, there's things I still am mad about Franklin, but as far as betting, long over that. Yeah, Frankel, it sounds like, yes, I'm going to say it. We all should have taken Mike Tyson to hit you. $79, that's one I made money on. I mean, if the money's water under the bridge, the games we'll never forget, right? That's my point. Top of the order for the Pirates from the bottom of the sixth. They trail by 1. Gene Alley 0 for 2 today. Jackson comes set. Pitches a 5-6 right-handed hard smash to third. Gagliano backhands, fires to Cepeda, 1 down. That's going to bring up Manny Moda. Yeah, if we got like Back to the Future too, right? If we only had the whatchamacallit sports almanac and a time machine. What the hell was that thing called? Somebody knows this, I know. Heck, we'd know enough from memory to selectively to cash in quite a few. Moda 1 for 2. Jackson set the pitch on a 3-3, grounded the other way to first base. Cepeda has it, feeds Jackson covering, and just like that, there's 2 away. The batter will be Roberto Clemente, 1 for 2 on the day. Jackson into the windup. The pitch on a 1-10, a ground ball to second, routine for Buchek, who throws him out. And other than a blip in the 4th inning, Al Jackson just spectacular today. Through 6 innings, it's 2-1 St. Louis. Second endurance inning for Fryman. Maxville, Jackson, and Brock due for the Cardinals. Dal Maxville tripled in a run and scored in the second. Woody Fryman gets the sign from Pagliarone. Here's the pitch. It's a 1-6 left-handed fly to center, playable for Moda. No, the book, the Sports Almanac. What was the name of it? The full name of it? Gray's? Was it Gray's Sports Almanac? Jackson 1 for 2. He will bat. Left-handed hitter. That's going to be a 2-7. Struck him out. Here's Brock now. Brock 0 for 3 today as Fryman comes set. On a 1-6 lefty, called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Fryman. Down go the Cardinals in the 7th. That's 4 strikeouts for Woody Fryman now. And we stretch in a 2-1 duel. I'm going to take a short break. And I'm going to switch over to iced tea today. And then we're going to fire up the Mookie cam. That was it, Ben Grays. Thank you for the confirmation. Yeah, I couldn't think of it, and then it came to me. I love it when that happens. Trying to think of something and it just pops into your head, as opposed to the times when you try and can't, and then 5 hours later without even trying, oh yeah, I got it now. All right, we got iced tea, and now let's find out what Mookie is up to. I think he's still on the couch. He is. What's up there, Mook? What are you doing? Say hello. Yes, you are a handsome cat. Oh, that's a good one, yeah. Way to get right in there with a good yawn. Okay, we'll leave you alone, buddy. Yeah, exactly. Why do you keep bothering me? This phone is harder to get back into the thing than the old one for some reason. Okay. Refreshing. Yeah, you know it's hot when I wean myself off the coffee. Quite a duel we have going here between Woody Fryman and Al Jackson. 2-1 St. Louis. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. Pagliarone, Clendenin, and Mazeroski do. Pagliarone 0 for 2. Jackson stares in to get the sign. There's the windup and the pitch on a 6-5 righty. He lifts it to left field and playable. Brock is there to make the grab. Here's Clendenin. He knocked in the Bucks' only run in the 4th. 1 for 2. Jackson into the windup. That's going to be a 1-7 lefty. Liner into left field, base hit. So Clendenin with 2 of the Pirates' 4 hits today. And a good base stealer standing at first. In fact, Clendenin, somewhat surprisingly to me, the fastest running rating on the team, 1-16. Jackson -2. He's 13 not held. With him being the tying run in the bottom of the 7th, they're going to hold him on at 11. Not taking any chances. And the batter will be Mazeroski. Jackson working out of the stretch now. Here's the pitch. It's a 6-6 right-handed grounder down to third. Gagliano has it. He goes to Buchek for 1 to Cepeda, not in time. It'll be a 5-4 force play. Clendenin erased. Mazeroski to first, and with 2 down, it's up to Bob Bailey. Bailey 0 for 2. Jackson checks the runner. Pitch to the plate is a 5-5 righty. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Pirates leave 1 on. Failed to score in the 7th. 2-1 after 7 complete. Both starting pitchers still going strong. 3rd endurance inning for Woody Fryman. And just as a precaution, Al McBean begins to throw in the St. Louis pen. Sorry, in the Pittsburgh pen. Gagliano, Flood, and Cepeda. Gagliano 1 for 3. Fryman gets the sign. The pitch is a 3-9 lefty, grounder to short. Routine for Alley. Fires it over to Clendenin, 1 down. Flood's 0 for 2 with a walk. Fryman gets his sign. The windup on the pitch is a 4-10. High pop fly to center. Moda drifting under it, waiting on it now, and puts it away. Two down, and here's Cepeda, 0 for 3 on the day. Fryman into the windup. 5-8 right-hander, lifts it the other way to right. Clemente barely has to move and gloves that to retire the side. 1-2-3 go the Cardinals in the 8th inning. Bottom of the 8th with a 1-run lead. Let's take a look at the St. Louis defense. No changes. It looks good. Bottom of the 8th, this will be the first endurance inning for Al Jackson, who's pitched a hell of a game today. Just 4 hits, all singles. It'll be Stargell, a pinch hitter for Fryman, and Gene Allen. Yep, that'll be it, unfortunately, for Woody Fryman. Willie Stargell, 0 for 2, stands in from the left side. Jackson gets his sign. The windup and the pitch to Stargell's a 1-7. Called strike 3. Oh, Stargell doesn't like it. It's a tweener. Right between 2 extra base hits. So Fryman goes 8 solid innings today. He allowed just 6 hits, 2 runs, walked only 1, and struck out 4. And let's see who's going to bat against the lefty Jackson. A lot of left-handers on this bench. Really only one good and obvious choice, and that's Jose Pagan, and that's who it's going to be. Pagan hitting just .212 in 66 at-bats. He does have a home run. And hello, Colin Merritt. And welcome, and I want to thank Colin for being the latest Patreon subscriber. One away, Jackson's pitch to Pagan. It's a 4-9 right-handed. That is a high fly ball to deep left field. Going back is Brock at the track, at the wall. It's gone. Oh my goodness. Jose Pagan comes off the bench and ties this ball game with a pinch hit home run. Just his second of the season. And the crowd goes wild. Action in the St. Louis pen. They're not in a real hurry to go there. We just saw Don Dennis, didn't we? Let's check the usage on the pen. They're not messing around today. They're going to get the stopper, Joe Horner, up. I know, Franklin. I used to have another loud cheering thing. I forgot about that lately. Thank you for reminding me, though. Yeah, let's see. I know it's too little too late. Where the hell is that? Yeah, it would go something like this. Now, we could nitpick that and say that's too big of a crowd. Actually, there were only just over 11,200 in Pittsburgh on this day in history. That sounds like a full house to me. Okay, here's Gene Alley now in what is now a tie ball game. Jackson gets the sign. The pitch is a 2-7 lefty, and Alley lines one in the left for a hit. And now one more hit or walk will fatigue Jackson. Horner getting ready in a hurry as Manny Mota steps to the plate. Alley held on at 11. Jackson gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Mota. It's going to be a 4-7 righty. Grounder to shortstop. Maxville has it. Goes to Buchek for one, to first for the double play. That will end the inning, but the Pirates tie it on a pinch hit homer by Jose Pagan. Let's take a look at their defense now as we go to the ninth, 2-2. Their defense doesn't need any help. Oh, you could take Stargell out, but come on. I'm not taking Willie Stargell out of the game. Here's the right-hander, Al McBean. As McBean gets loose, let's take a look at his numbers on the season. He's been in 17 games, 1-0 with a 2.73. I thought about that. You could leave Pagan at third, put the pitcher here, which I would do if they were leading. They may need Bailey's bat yet in this game. They're going to stick with Bailey. We'll see how it plays out. You could say, or you could reward Pagan for the homer and leave him at third, but now you're moving the pitcher up into the seventh spot. We'll keep it as it is. Shannon, Buchek, and Corrales do. Al McBean is ready. Gets his sign, the pitch to Shannon. That's going to be a 1-7 right-handed. Struck him out. What a game, Bill. Welcome, Bill. It's 2-2 in the ninth. Buchek is 2 for 3 on the day. McBean into the windup. Right-hander issues a 5-12 righty. Grounder to third base X. Bailey, here we go. 4-21. on a 9. That's the error range. That's going to be a 10 on an E21. Bailey makes a nice play and throws him out. Here's Corrales now. Against the righty, probably not. I'd like to still give McCarver the day off. But they don't have another catcher, so it's going to be McCarver any way you slice it, so he may as well bat here. Tim McCarver, who was looking forward to the day off, comes off the bench here with 2 down and nobody on. Hitting .335, 3 homers and a team-leading 25 RBIs. McBean's pitch is a 5-5 lefty, swung on and missed, strike 3. 2 strikeouts for McBean, 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals. And the Pirates will come to bat in the bottom of the 9th in a 2-2 tie. Al Jackson still out there for St. Louis. Joe Horner ready behind him. And it's the heart of the Pirate batting order. Yeah, we've had a couple of pinch hit homers lately, haven't we, Ben? One of the most exciting plays in the game, I think. The pinch hit home run. What, Clemente? Clemente 1 for 3. Jackson into the windup. That's a 2-5 right-handed base hit into center field. That's as good as a walk. And one more hitter walk from Fatiguing. Here comes should I pull him? Jackson, 1 hit or walk from Fatiguing. What would you do? Would you pull him? They don't have a dependable righty. Ray Washburn is the righty. I'm not going to go with Dennis again. It would be Horner. Frank says pull him. I'm thinking of pulling him. That's all I needed was one person to confirm that. Here comes red, and that's going to do it for Jackson. Fine game for Jackson. Hell, he gets applause from some scattered applause from the Pittsburgh fans. And they're going to go to the closer, Joe Horner. Part of the reason Horner really needs some work. Jackson goes 8+. 7 hits, 2 runs so far, did not walk a batter, struck out just 3. Horner has been absolutely phenomenal so far for the Cardinals. 1-2 with 6 saves and a microscopic 1.23 ERA, and he's only worked 14 2/3 innings, so he definitely needs to accelerate his workload as this replay progresses. Lights out against lefties and not bad at all against righties. And a -4 hold to boot. Pagliarone is the batter. Horner from the stretch. It's a 210. High fly ball to left field. Backing up his Brock. On the track, hauls it in. Oh my goodness. Pagliarone gave it a ride. Allowed out to left. And here's Don Clendenin. 2 for 3 on the day. Horner out of the stretch now. Comes in there with a 4-12 righty. It's a grounder to first base X. That's Cepeda. 3E17. Big play for Cepeda. It's a 15 error range. It's a 7 on a 17. It's an error on Orlando Cepeda. Oh my goodness, a big error. E3. Clemente stops at second. First error of the ball game, and it's a huge one. Clemente, the potential winning run, is now in scoring position, 1 away. And Bill Mazeroski, the hitter, Bob Bailey to follow. Maz is 0 for 3 today. Horner trying to get a ground ball here. Comes in there with a 4-6 righty, and that's going to win the game. That's a walk-off single for Mazeroski. Clemente all the way in to score, and the Pirates walk it off in the bottom of the 9th. And oh my goodness, just listen to that crowd. Yeah, now I got the crowd noise. I forgot all about that until Franklin brought it up. I don't think I've used that since my vacation last year. I'll have the totals for you in just a moment. Yeah. Unmitigated called it. No, it won't hurt. Yes, Al, I would. Yeah. Two-star single. That's true, wouldn't it be, Ben? Yeah, the amount of bases needed to score, so he would get a double if he rolled the triple. As it is, he rolled the single. Fantastic game today, 3-2 Pirates. McBean ends up with the win. So Fryman's tough luck continues, but he pitched a hell of a game. Let's see what that does for McBean. He's 2-0 now in relief. Jackson tagged with the loss. He drops to 2-4. Exactly, Pam. The Pirate fans don't care what it's ruled. They won the game on 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Cardinals 2 runs, 6 hits, and a very costly error. That's actually going to be, let me correct that. That run in the 9th, of course, is an unearned run charged to Jackson. A huge error by Orlando Cepeda. Player of the game is up for grabs. Mazeroski, Pagan, Fryman. It's got to be Mazeroski, doesn't it, with the walk-off? That tilts the scales. Yeah, we're going to make it Maz with the walk-off hit. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Man, I'm glad you guys were here to enjoy this fine game. That's about as good as it gets here in Strat-O-Matic land. Let's take a look at the schedule. Tomorrow it's Boston at Baltimore as we move on to June 10th on the schedule. Lee Stang will get the spot start for the Red Sox. Wally Bunker gets the start for the Orioles. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Frank. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Colin. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, everybody. Should be a good one tomorrow. Yes, sirree. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn the air conditioner back on and figure out what I'm going to have for lunch. I want to thank everybody once again for watching. Please join me tomorrow, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern. As always, I sign off by wishing you all a very pleasant evening. Take care, everybody. Until next time.